Testing, testing. 1, 2. Hey! Great to have you in the room. Very excited. Ben here. And today we're going to have a look at strings. Not just any strings. Strings that are good for your heart, because you'll feel good about using them. And strings that possibly might be really good for your ukulele. Good for the environment, good for music. It's the UKULELE strings made out of sugar. Yeah, how about that? Actually, I've got 2 of the same ukuleles. So I can, exactly the same. Both tenors, same strings, which are actually not that good at the moment on the ukuleles. And then we'll be able to do live tests and see how these strings actually sound. So these are the UKULELE ukulele strings made out of sugar, which is apparently, as you can read here, is a new bioplastic that comes from sugarcane. So, sweet idea. Let's see how it sounds in a bit. It gives to the ukulele brightness, very similar to the fluorocarbon strings, which are basically fishing line. That's true, that's how they came up with it. Promptness of attack, that's nice. A bit clear attack, I like that. Amazing sustain, that's really good. You want sustain, meaning long notes. Great and powerful dynamic timbre, which is I think some kind of wood, timber, is it? I don't know, that's a joke. And a very easy vibrato, which is great because I love having a bit of vibrato on the ukulele when I do sort of chords higher up the fretboard. These strings, apparently, it says here, have also a very low moisture absorption. That's nice, I guess. They assure a stable intonation under humidity changes, which means basically if the weather changes, your strings don't move out of tune that much. On your UKULELE strings you can double check, but here it says tenor, high G, sugar, which is kind of a nice way to talk to me. Oh, and it's also an eco-friendly packaging. Less paper, less plastic, less energy, less waste. Well done. And here are the 4 strings, and they're even color-coded. I don't know if you can see, but maybe if I go like this kind of, you can get an idea. There's white, green, red and blue, and maybe they say which is which, or is that sort of something... Oh yeah, it does say here. Now, as an aside, what's quite useful if you're changing strings, especially a whole set of strings, is to have one of these little things that kind of turn with you. And then you can just wind them down really fast, instead of having to go turn with your wrist. Now, I could just cut all of these off, but I like using this also, so I'm just going to go through with the 4. When you change strings, make sure you notice actually how they're attached. That's quite useful, especially if you're not used to changing strings. Just have a look at how they've installed that, and then you can do the same again when you put the new ones on. Okay, strings are off, and now for the sweet, sweet sound of sugar. Soon. So just to put on the string, I'm just passing it through the holes here, and it depends on your ukulele obviously, and then just looping it. Oh. Okay, I'm tying the knot. I tied the knot. It really got serious with the blue string. Okay, blue and red done. That's half of them. Wow, all the strings are there, finally. Because as you saw, it broke. Maybe it's worth it investing a few more dollars or euros into one that is a bit more solid. I'll think about that. And now that the strings are on, I'm going to be tuning and playing and tuning and playing, so I can do the comparison just after that. Now, I'm going to bring in these 2 microphones to give your ears a much better audio setting, and then we're off for the test. This is it. Actually, I'll give, just before I do that, I'll give the little strings a clip here, a little trim, and a bit of a haircut down here too, so that it's nice and clean and that there's no buzz, strings buzzing together or whatever. I don't like those little noises. Okay, so I'm now using these 2 microphones. Why 2? It's because that way you get stereo. So here I should be in your, wait, let me think, left ear? No, right ear. If you're standing there, that's, what's that? They're your right ear. And here should be in your left ear. Right? Maybe it works. Let's start with finger picking first. The way it sounded to me just now is that there was more softness in the original cheap strings from the other ukulele, and in the new ones there's lots more clarity, but also a big contrast with the resonance of the C string, especially. It fills up the space. Now, the amount of clarity that these strings have are starting to make me think that they would sound great on a ukulele that I think lacks clarity, especially those made of acacia. Is that the word? Acacia? Acacia. Like this one is solid acacia, or a type of acacia, and it's really muffled. It doesn't have the clarity of mahogany, for example. So these very clear sugar strings would sound absolutely great at sort of revitalizing that slightly muffled sound, or the slightly mellower sound of the acacia. Now, a bit of strumming. It'll be interesting to see how these strings develop and how maybe they mellow, and how the very bright clarity that you hear as a stark contrast with the other strings, maybe that softens up, or maybe it stays. I don't know. That'll be interesting to have a look at how they develop over time, because the sound of string doesn't stay the same all the time. They develop with usage. Maybe you've noticed that yourself with the ukulele that you've had for a while and then tried one with new strings. Maybe noticed a difference there. So I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen. Oh, and I've got another ukulele over there. You can't see it on the wall, that I received recently, just to try it out. And it's whole wood, but it's painted also, and somehow there's something very muffled about it. Well, it's out of tune also. But I think for that particular ukulele, as for this one here, the sugar strings that really have this very clear attack and also very long sustain, and really feel the sound, especially with the C string compared to the cheaper ones. That'd be really great on a ukulele that needs a bit of brightening up. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is laminated mahogany, which is going to have quite a clear sound already. So we've got the double clarity here. Wait, which one is the new strings? Can you tell? I've forgotten now. Okay, right, well, final things. I'm going to play both, and I can't remember which is which, and you have to tell me which one has the new sugar strings. Okay, test one. Test number 2. You guessed it, the new strings were on number 1. Because it was slightly out of tune, that's what happens with new strings, but also because of that that really clear. That is really clear. What's going on here, I think also the string is a bit low, so the action is a bit too low, and it would sound better if the action was a bit higher. But that's what happens, I guess, when you order ukuleles from AliExpress. It's nice because you think, ooh, that's a nice shape, and it's cheap, but Thank you so much for watching. It's so nice to have your company here, and I'll be trying new strings very soon and experimenting what sounds mellow and bright and sweet and muffled and nice. We'll see. Bye bye.